Abusema munyina matrase yama munyina makwaba edeba smart Ghana update so onya subscribe and say nene da edi kan na say wapie adwumadi ensu abobode aso be subscribe afei wa like wa share na fofo enya bia hwe sanse atenase a ense wado ayamanyofo eka ense wado ekoso man konkro Ghana ne tu natane chiro do ne ntwa so na atenase na yedi ehun nko na yeso ya kire ya adwene enso so ewo ho se ne se na efata na ense wado abeto dwa ewo MBP amanyokoro nche bia anakrata eba abonten edi free acting national chairman enso so eho no mo ede beto dwa o chese enkofo awodo bebre na ye do mo nse wakọ discipline committee anase ya suspend mo ede free MBP amanyokoro nyina no ya de se party no atenase ye council na atenase aye amnesty safo ni nyina ye se mo masaba party no emo ye twa sanse nyina atogunum ni ade sanse omo pre nkunimdie omo pre nkabom na omatimi apre nkunimdie ewo 2028 abato ebeko akwakoto no ensusu emu na nam so ama obia eche na adwene e de fa honam so ama leading member e de ma the new patriotic party MPP amanyokoro wura Dr. Arthur Kennedy ono so ache na adwene e de afa sanse no pa no wache se sa amnesty no enya atwem amnesty pa te se enya seketo se achopa kase pa e no se party mpanefo pa sa afo ni nyina ensusu ache e wo sa ensem no ensusu wode nchima odo pi na e de atodwa wo mra no one joy news for edwetwe enkomo free secretary no eba abonten no abusia yenkone ntie nchima odo wura Arthur Kennedy ono so ade atodwa de ntia wo kase sa ensem no eye hypocrite ana bibia etesa no yenkone nkotie ne yeba besi ho nkonya na yede ho enkomo.
I think that the intent is good, but I think the execution was botched. The intent of granting an amnesty, or more to the point, unity that is needed, is a good thing. I think that unity is indispensable to success of political parties. And that has been demonstrated repeatedly throughout history. The Democratic Party in US in 1968 lost because they were divided. Republicans lost in 1992 to Clinton et al. Because Ross Perot, who was a Republican, waged a very potent independent candidacy. And even in Ghana, the Dankwa Buzi Adom tradition lost in 1979 because they were divided. And in actual fact, this 2024 election, we lost partly because we were divided. You know, I know that as a summer doesn't make one swallow doesn't make a summer, and one individual doesn't make a party. But when Alan left, he was symbolizing fundamental problems of the party. And as Agyapong recently said, a lot of people had left the party in their hearts. Political parties are places where we should go and seek friendships and build relationships and have joy in the service of our country. I think our party leaders have forgotten the essence of political parties, that is building up the numbers. 20% of John Mohammed's votes came from good old-fashioned MPP members who, of course, didn't resign publicly, so don't need amnesties. They are there. And those votes, we don't own them in 2028. We have to earn them back. And by the way, those 20% of votes will account for 1.2 million votes. If we had all of them, maybe Muhammad wouldn't be sitting in Flagstaff House.
But how did you determine that 20%?
Ask Musa Dankwa. He did exit polling.
Okay.
All we have to do is ask him. He did exit polling. And not only that, there were quite a lot more MPP members who just couldn't bring themselves to go to the polls and vote for Muhammad. So they stayed home. I am just saying that we have a lot of work to do to earn all those votes back. They heard Nanado's advice. The vote belongs to you. You can do with it whatever you want. So they did what they wanted. As patriotic Ghanaians, we need to reassure them that we heard their message, that we understand our mistakes, that we are more humble. And I think that this amnesty does not address that. And not only that, this amnesty is hypocritical because we are the same party that in 2008 brought somebody who didn't even have a party membership card and made them running mate. By the way, earlier that year, at least 5 people who wanted to run as parliamentary candidates had been disqualified because they had not, quote, developed the party enough. So I think that we owe a lot of people apologies, not just amnesties. Paula Foko, for example, Kwabena Agyapong, for example, we need the Alan supporter who lost the eye and all those people. We need to apologize to Ghanaians for running the party as if it was a private club that belonged to a few individuals. A party is a public institution and should be run in a way that is attractive to people. We need those 20% of Mahama voters to come home, and not just that, those who stayed home to go and vote, but more importantly, we need some NDC people to look at us and say we are attractive and cross the carpet so we can elect a president and a majority in 2028.
Doc, I'll stay with you. If you look at the statement, it's signed by the acting national chairman. In practice and over the years, would you say that this amnesty would be binding, considering that it's coming from an acting chairman? What does the optic also look like for you?
Oh, in terms of him being acting, if he is acting, he has all the powers inherent in the office, just like the acting Chief Justice, for example, has the powers of the office. So it is not the binding nature of it. I think it is the spirit behind it. I think that it is a grudging amnesty that is calculated to keep people still on the side. If you grant an amnesty to somebody and he's not popular and he wants to go and run for office, let them go and lose. Why do you have to bar them from running for office? That in itself shows that the amnesty is not sincere. And if you had a moment, I will tell you, and through you tell MPP members something late Akenten Apia Minka told me the first time Alan left in 2008. When I saw him in Kumasi, you know, people like Nanado and others were thumping their chest and say, oh, let him leave. Apino told me a very somber story. He said in 1979, when the party was breaking up between the PFP and the UNC members, he said, I was in the room and people said, in 1969, we won 104 seats. So if 10 people are leaving, these people, they account for only about 10 seats. Let them go. We still win 94. They had forgotten that the 1969 votes were not frozen in place. So they went on and lost 1979. Apino said, I think in retrospect, that if we had tried a little harder, we could have kept those people with us. And if we had kept them with us, maybe we would have been in government in 1979. And he added something very deep. He said, maybe by our selfishness and narrow-mindedness, we lost power to the untested Liman and we doomed the country by risking its security unnecessarily. That was Akenten Apia Minka.
Right, maybe we go to Dr. Osei-Kwapong.
Interesting.
Yeah?
Yes, but before we go there,
Okay.
Doc, you say that the party should apologize publicly. I mean, how can the party do that? Because they know the members who have been offended. Why not call them into a conclave or something like that and do it?
Because as they say in Twi, baby, I watch it.
Yeah, me sure.
So the same way you suspended them publicly and humiliated them, that is the same place where you should go and make peace with them. So the apologies are important, and the apologies should not only be to people like Afoku, it should be to the people of Ghana for our boneheaded policies, for being members who foisted upon Ghana a government that sank $100 million into the ground for a hole, while the growth room market was uncompleted and our children were sitting under trees learning. We should apologize for stuff like that.
Doc, I have a question on the apology, maybe before we go to Dr. Kwapong. If a political party grants amnesty, would it mean that whatever crime for which you were suspended or for other reasons, it's not true?
Well, it would not necessarily mean that it's not true. It can even mean that the crimes are true, but the party has decided that the exigencies of the moment matter more than your previous crimes. And by the way, in the US, you know, somebody like Bernie Sanders, who isn't even a Democrat, can run in the Democratic primary. I think parties must be inclusive. And I think that is part of our problem in Africa, that too many people seem to think of parties as private clubs owned by some individuals. To the extent that we need to shift the balance, I think political parties must have the power to deal with powerful people. Like, for example, the ANC recalling Mbeki because they were unhappy with his presidency. That would be the day. And by the way, I was present when Chairman Kwabneji and what did they call it? McMenu had a very deep conversation about how they could do that in Ghana. I thought that was a great initiative.
But okay, if it is true, why should they then apologize? If it is true that that does not mean that what they did is right, why should a party apologize? Just by giving...
They should apologize for the harshness of expelling them. Okay. I am just saying that a party that could pick someone who didn't even have a party card, give him a party card at night and make him running mate, has no beef disciplining anybody.
Okay.
Right. I was a leading member of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, Amanyokono, Dr. Arthur Kennedy, Nene, Anna Echebu, and Yesinkonya, na Yedin Samanon Soho, and Kawana, in Komai.
I'm say, and I know the time a kind. Say, Sir Amnesty now on the Abano. A yadepa. A yadepa in the sense that Yemfa disunity and corporate prestigious position like president. Sure. And he overcall I can see a presidency, I can see there. You need everybody's support. It's in a constitution of Krana. Across say, answer Rebecca Sabaya to a wedding kunimno. Over here 50 plus one vote. Yeah. And that means every single vote accounted. It is all I just say, maybe I do baby a milk team, my pamo be another Obia, 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 some Cobia, and they say, Ona, Umpetumino, I maintain it. It say, oh my, your friend is saying, I'm the amnesty about my kind, say, at the Panemum, there are certain key people here. And yes, I quite should also offer so at the amnesty more, even though so they are bad here, but you will still have to go to them. The lives of the same Afafanto movement, Eura, Alan Chamatin, and Yahutama Cronum, yes, and Afukonum, and there are some factors, some key factors you are. To me, and Fadnematron from one say, Yabua Pesabrebia the heavy. It is a era Arthur Kennedy chasing the elephant to the bush, master, or no Ekase, Sir Amnesty, your friends in Yachuma, baby pano, man in the yard been said, as a yan to me and yan in the way say, yet the respect. Only apology be manco for be a fata. Now imagine someone penico 40 assay. Now more take a decision, no one can't channel. Now Abufuba. Now what's Abufu no correction. Now the letter between from us affiliate will be a Mencasa for free party. Yes. Now so me they can't some. Now as I had the between affiliate, ye be a pro to the wa, ye mao, ye pam will be a party, you should be a sabra, without contacting some of these key people. Next, only near Oye. And the area at a Canada, baby, no. Minnesota, so you do me, but be emotional. I don't know the coach chasing the elephant into the bush. I said, the emotions in the broso, Emma, and Marco treated the Ocano, Benano, I agree.
I was have I don't go comment section as if I am I a